Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. The indigenous all over the earth got it. They understood that the souls of the departed come back and give them wisdom, that they live in the land, in the blood, and that is the way that they transfer the information, the wisdom, so that one generation can exist and be wiser than the one before. And so I will always ask permission of the ancestors in a land like this to give a message about them. As I speak now, dear ones, the rocks are listening. The land is alive. 30 years ago, I started to tell you these things. I told you that someday that scientists will redefine life when they realize that there's life in the rock, in the dirt, because of what they discover that is multidimensional. And they'll realize an intelligence, a wisdom, has always been there. Modern culture and humanity, in these days, with all of the spirituality, have left out the complement, the content of Gaia. But this, dear ones, is changing along with some other things. The Maya predicted in 2012 that if you made it, dear ones, past that point, civilization would begin to shift, and one of the shifting points would be the rediscovery of things past. A great aha as consciousness started to rise, that you would turn slowly to the ones who had been here the longest. Because a higher consciousness must always include the earth. And right now, it doesn't. Marietta sits next to me, and I wish to honor her. And I wish to tell her something. The group that is assembled in this valley, in the sun here, in these beautiful places, in this stillness, you think it would be a spiritual group? It isn't. It's an aware group. And I want to say to Marietta that this group is aware of the differences in the cultures. I would like to say to Marietta, this group is aware of what you carry in your blood. That it is the wisdom of the ancestors and the promise of things to come, which you will do. This group is aware that what you carry and what your ancestors carry are going to affect the future. And that there will come a time when many will come to you and your people and sit at your feet and listen to the stories, because every story is a story of the right way to live. Every story has metaphors of the animals and the plants and the earth, and they mean things that are profoundly important. Things that have carried a culture through thousands of years, where modern culture continues to war and doesn't last hardly at all. A remembrance of what this earth means. Your culture, Marietta, carries some wonderful stories, even those you have given us so far, that carry symbols that you don't even know about to us. Symbols that other indigenous have developed that you are also talking about. I'll give you one. Ancient Tibetans developed a system of numbers where the numbers would mean certain things and certain energies. much like the indigenous of this land assign energies to animals and the various things of the planet. And the Tibetans did it with numbers. And one of the numbers that was profound was 4. Now, Marietta, you've given us so many examples of the 4 thises and the 4 that's and the 4 decisions and the 4 worlds. And you might sign them to the directions of the planet, but you'd be interested to know that Tibetans assigned them to Gaia, to Mother Earth, to all that is inside the dirt. There is a similarity all over the world to what the indigenous know, what they teach, in their own ways, in their own symbols, in their own language, but dear ones, it always come back to the earth. Something else is happening. Marietta, I want to tell you, I see above you a woman, an elder, and you know who she is. And you have taken her mantle, dear one. I see sitting on her another woman, and on her another woman. And I see in this lineage of yours shamanic qualities that go back thousands of years, and not one of them is male. In your culture, in your stories, did you notice that some of the stories will be those of the mistrust of men? This in itself is the story I want to tell you, that women are the ones that have always been the ones to carry shamanic energy. And perhaps that is not what you have seen in these lands and these years and in your lineage, but it is returning. And you should know this, that this is the way of it and has been. It started with women. You say the medicine man, it was the medicine woman. Because they carried the secrets and they carried the wisdom. What better than to have a woman who gives birth and understands intuition and joy and teaching and patience to teach? It makes total sense. You call yourself a shaman in training. I'll tell you, every shaman of the last breath they take are still in training. Because they still learn from the planet and from their ancestors and from their lineage. And this is our honoring to you today, to say we're different cultures, different times, but we see you and we know you. Is it possible to sing to the earth and have it react? Let me give you this. It's possible to sing to the earth and have it sing back. And that is the message that the ancients in this valley want you to know. Let it start with the planet and go from there. Let the wisdom that you would have in your life in the right way to live and knowing what to do, how to treat one another, start with the earth. And we've said it before, the tree hugger knows. The one who is in anxiety and goes into the field to feel better knows that the earth has a personality and a love for you and will sing back to you. I hope you have heard this message and felt the intensity of the compassion of when we say to you, everything you need to know is right at your feet. Let a new way begin of thinking and returning to what the indigenous of this planet can teach you. right now. And so it is.